Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, I am Angela Hester. I am with Priceless Empowerment. And with Priceless Empowerment, we are doing a series on Destined and Depleted. So we the double D gang. I told y'all we a gang now. But no, seriously, welcome back everybody. I am, oh my God, so super excited to be here today. I have been, of course, writing. Do y'all know I almost couldn't find me some extra journals? Y'all know I need my journals. Which I know I've been writing. I've been listening. I have been connecting to self. I have been trying to slow it down as much as possible. Trying to recognize when I'm not slowing down. But I've been doing a whole lot. But welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Priceless Empowerment Presents Destined and Depleted. The purpose of this series is to increase the conversations around knowing that you are called to do some amazing things. However, being just simply too depleted to carry out those things that you believe in your heart you are destined to do. So I am so excited to be here, y'all, because oh wait, let me not jump into it. I hope you guys are doing well. And for those of you who are not doing well, I pray that you are on your way to doing well, because our God is such an amazing God. But I'm excited. Look, I be having to slow it down, y'all. I am so super excited to be here. The other day I was listening to The Basement, an episode of The Basement, and it's with, what's throwing me off? Let me be honest. What's throwing me off is that I ain't bring that beat in the way that Tabitha Brown does. More of me in 2023. Hey. I felt like, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not sorry. Don't click off. Okay, listen. I had to get that out. Y'all know I had to get that out. Okay, so listen. The other day I was listening to an episode of The Basement, and Tim Ross had Lecrae on. And for those of you who know me personally, maybe even somewhat professionally, may know that I really do love Lecrae and his music. And they titled the segment, "Whatever You May Think, I Know Who I Am," which I thought the title was powerful in its own right. But I'm going to post it because, oh my gosh, it was simply amazing. I'm talking like the best hour or so that I've had in a long time, next to listening to like my Sunday sermons, right? It was really, really powerful. And what I love about The Basement is Tim Ross is so authentic, but the people that he brings on there are like just as authentic, and there's so much that is to be gained through those conversations, right? And so one of the things that I shared with you all in the revamp or when I came back is that one of the biggest things that I got from him is when someone would be telling their connections made or historical events that may have happened that led them to where they are today, and he would tell them to slow it down because he may have took note that there was more insight to be gained and maybe some component of what they were sharing. So he would have them to slow it down so that the connection can be made. And so I was like, that's powerful. And so you will find myself a lot of the times not only urging you and encouraging you to slow it down, but also kind of letting you know that it's the slowing it down that's a part of my destined and depleted journey. And it's the way that I am reframing that thing, right? So that I am having some movement, right? And I'm tracking the way that I am supposed to be tracking on this journey that I'm destined to fulfill, right? So anywho, I don't know if I'm getting off track, but let me get back on it. So Now, the whole video was amazing, but I just took a line that blew me through the absolute roof. Threw me through the roof. And they were talking about how oftentimes, we'll listen to sermons, we'll listen to motivational videos, right? And we will support the content that in the encouragement that others are putting across, rather it be a motivational speaker, rather it be our pastors, but we're supporting the content, in which we should, right? But one thing that they said that was so powerful, and it was, insight is easy, but the change is hard, right? So we can listen to a motivational sermon, a motivational video, a clip, right? And we'll have the insight to do better, to do things, to switch things up, right? For our personal greater good. But then when it comes time for us to put our money where our mouth is, oftentimes we get tripped up, right? In the action part. We can be touched. We can have the insight, and we can gain the insight. We can be blown away. We can have the aha moments, right? We can have the, oh, that's powerful moments. But when it comes time to the action, that's the part that's the hard part. So they said insight is easy. You can get that. But it's the change that is hard. So it was so amazing to listen to the whole episode in its entirety. And again, I'll post it because for those of you who have that, just maybe on your drive home, if you're exercising, cooking, cleaning, whatever, that episode was absolutely amazing. I thought that the episode with Michelle Williams was it, right? Because that episode was awesome. But this one was really cool. But so let me tell you what I wrote down, because I'm always jotting things down, and I want to try to see if I can bring it full circle. So for me, I wrote down, and I have to write it down because sometimes I will have other things going on, and I want to make sure I'm able to come back, because some things hit me and I know that it's exactly what I want to be able to share. So I put on here, this triggers me to slow down the destined and depleted conversation even further, right? I have a series of questions, right? Where does that Energizer Bunny lifestyle come from when it comes to us, right? Where does that running until you hit a brick wall come from? Where does that inability to see the sabotage of self until you are depleted come from? Like, where does it come from historically? Where does it come from? What does that historical framework look like for you? That's my therapist coming out. What have you not addressed from the past, whether it be trauma, your upbringing, experiences, that's causing that breakdown and that consistency? Now, I'm not even asking just you this, right? This is something that I'm asking myself, right? Because I'm on this journey as well. Am I a helping professional? Absolutely. Do I love what I do? Absolutely. But am I human? Absolutely. So I'm on this journey. It's a journey that I'm sharing with you. So I'm asking these questions, but I'm asking these questions of myself first, right? It's important because insight ain't always easy, right? You do have to be open to gaining the insight, right? But it's easier than actually making the change, in my opinion, right? I can get fired up. I can listen to something that will fire me up. However, how long is it going to take me to make that change? And if I do make the change, how long am I going to make the change? I ain't going to use the diet because everybody always use a diet, but how long are you going to make the change? I'm not going to drink coffee, and you stop drinking coffee for a week and then you're back on coffee, if not worse than you were before. I'm not going to people please. You stop people pleasing for a week and then you start back people pleasing even more than before. I'm not going to eat out at these restaurants and spend this money. You stop for about a week or so and then you go right back to eating out more than you did before. Right? It's so the question becomes, where does that inkling come from to continuously resort back to the norm, even if the norm does not serve you? You know what I'm saying? And it's something that I truly had to even ask to myself. Like, Angela, if you know this does not serve you, why is it so easy to go back to that? Even if it's familiar. It's something that's familiar that does not serve you, right? It starts with the mind, yes, but it also starts with our history. So it made me want to slow down the destined and depleted conversation even further, because I'm like, man, what we got in these closets? What's in these suitcases out here in these streets? What we got under these mattresses? What's tucked away that's keeping us from moving forward in a consistent manner? You know what I'm saying? It's like Velcro. You know, like when the two parts of Velcro, I don't even know what the term is, but if they come together, how they stick, right? And it's like, if you keep it apart, it ain't gonna stick. But if you bring them things back close together, it's gonna stick. Like, what's our Velcro? What's bringing those traits back together? Those traits, those actions, those desires, those behaviors of things that doesn't serve us. Why do we keep going back to that? Why is that norm so easy to go back to? Right? You know, yes, because it's the norm. I get it. But why? What in our history has caused that to be a pattern for us to go back to what's normal in our lives when it's something that doesn't serve us, right? So I have you know, what is up with us? I actually got what's up with you. So, what's up with us? I'm going to just bring y'all on into this whole thing with me, right? I have, what are we doing out here in these holy streets? Why are we so up and down? Why are we so inconsistent? Why do we keep pouring from our empty cups, right? Why do we keep driving our cars past E? Like, why do we keep doing that? Don't act like it's just me. You can, because I'm the one out here on the camera, right? You can, but don't act like it's just me. Why do we keep driving our car past E? Why do we get in the car and we say it's on E, but it say I got 25 miles? If I only use 10 right now, I got 15 before I have to go to the gas station. Why we do stuff like that? Why do we keep driving our cars past E, and then when we end up on the side of the road, we be looking crazy like, I done ran out of gas. You knew you was gonna run out of gas, did you not? Most cars, either they gonna tell you, or I know you see it. I know you. It was no, I ain't gonna go there. But it did used to be a rap song. What's it called? I know you see it. I'm gonna leave it alone. But I know you see it. I know you see that car on E. So why do we keep doing that? And then we end up on the side of the road, depleted, exhausted, tired, overwhelmed, stressed, right? And we be sitting there looking crazy, like it caught us all the way off guard. Shout out to Anna if you see this. As soon as I said that, I thought of you. The caught off guard part. And but why we do that? And then we act like, oh, we didn't know if we was gonna run out of gas. Oh, you knew. You knew if you kept showing up for something that doesn't serve you, eventually you gonna run out of gas, right? You know if you keep on people pleasing, you know if you keep on going towards something that you're not even meant to do, at some point you are gonna hit that brick wall because you're not meant to do it, right? So it's almost like we know. We have some inkling, right? And I don't know if it's because we typically have that big S on our chest. We be like, oh, that ain't gonna happen to me. I got this, right? I don't know. I'm on a whole rant. So hopefully whoever's still left, y'all still with me. But it goes back though to that insight is easy, but change is hard, right? It goes back to that. I mean, it was a million things that I got from that episode, and I had to narrow it down. Otherwise, I would be here for 5 hours, and I don't even know if I even got enough subscribers for all that. So I'm like, I gotta piecemeal this thing because it was such a powerful nugget that I had took from that. But then it also brought me to something else, though, you guys. In regards to that, and in regards to really holding on that we to the notion that we are powerful beings, right? No matter what you feel you're destined to do, again, whether it's smaller scale, big scale, it doesn't matter, right? It's just the fact that you feel you're called to do something is amazing. It's amazing, but being depleted and not being able to carry that out, what you feel you're called to do, well, that ain't amazing. You know what I'm saying? At all. At all. So listen. So then I kind of switched over to faith and hope. And I have faith and hope is not circumstantial. You either have the faith and hope that God will supply all of your needs, or you don't. You have it or you don't. That's it. There's no in between. And I'm not exempt. There were moments when I thought I had it. and moments when obviously I did not, right? I'm just being honest. Is it easy to be unwavering? Is it easy to have those unwavering, that unwavering faith? No, it's not easy. We ought to be around here on our journeys, unfazed, unbothered. It would be easy to be that way, but being unwavering is not an easy thing to do. And so most of us, we be out here in these streets wavering like it ain't nothing. Yep. We be out here wavering like it ain't nothing because these circumstances, it gets to us. Nobody's exempt. Nobody's exempt from life. Nobody's exempt from life circumstances, but it's about that slowing it down process so that you can gain some perspective, so that you're able to navigate better, so that you're able to hear from God, so that you're able to really tap into self to carry out those things that you feel you really are called to do. I don't know why I keep messing with this hair, you guys. So we do be out here wavering. Now, do we wish we can stand firm a lot easier? Of course. But practice makes perfect. And if you keep trying to hold on, if you keep trying to have that faith, if you keep giving yourself the opportunity to slow it down, if you keep giving yourself the opportunity to gain some perspective, hey, some beautiful things can happen. You know, some beautiful things can happen. You know what I'm saying? But there are times, though, when we out here and we be struggling. You know what I'm saying? We be out here, we be struggling, we be blessed, highly favored, grateful to all that God has given us. But sometimes in the midst of all that, we still be struggling. It's just me still. Okay. I'll accept that. I will accept that. I think sometimes we really get to that point to where, and I have this written down, I have sometimes that when we're wavering, or is it just me when I'm wavering? It's not y'all, right? Okay, it's just me. Okay, I'll take that. When we out here wavering, when we having our moments, right? I wrote down, we be like, now God, I know you seeing this. You don't want me to waver, but I know you seeing this hardship. I know you feeling this headache. I know you tap into this heartbreak. I know that you know that I'm exhausted. Now, God, I know that you know that this is where I am. That's insight. That's insight. Insight to know what you feel God should know. That's insight. The change comes, the action comes when you give yourself the opportunity to slow down, to get some perspective. Perspective into that insight that you claim to have. Now, God, I know you know I'm exhausted. Now, God, I know you know I'm depleted. Now, God, I know you know I'm heartbroken, right? This is what you're saying God should know. But what about you? Why? Why are you heartbroken? Why are you tired? Why are you depleted? Why are you exhausted? Why? Might be an answer that slowing down process will give you. Why? Is it because you got in that car, you seen your car was on E, whether it was on E with that relationship, whether it was on E with that job, whether it was on E with that people pleasing, whether it was on E with that task list, whether it was on E with everything that you had to do in your life. You got in it, you started it up, and you proceeded to drive anyway. So now that you're tired, exhausted, depleted, no energy to see forth the things you need to do to fulfill what you feel you're destined and called to do, now it's, God, you don't see this. I ain't been there, so listen, I'm preaching to myself too, or I'm talking to myself. Let me not say preaching. I ain't trying to give myself more credit than what is due, but I'm talking to myself, right? Slowing it down instead of continuously showing up, so that you can gain some perspective. Getting in that car, slowing down at a gas station, filling up with some gas, so you won't end up on the side of the road. That's essentially what I'm saying. Insight is easy, but change is hard. Insight is easy, but change is hard. I remember when I got back from Texas, coming back from Texas, I guess would have been the revamp of this whole thing, right? I came back, I was fired up, I was ready to go. You couldn't tell me nothing, right? And I was going, right? I came back, I'm ready. It was amazing. Let's get this thing going. But then in retrospect though, I came back fired up. I came back ready to show up, but I kind of left that slowing down I let that fall by the wayside just that quick because I was so fired up. And not even a week after coming back, I think I had a little bit of a mini breakdown. And I had to remind myself, like, slow it down, right? Slow it down, gain some perspective, make sure you're showing up for the right things. Make sure you're showing up for those things that you feel you are called. Make sure you're showing up for those things that you're called to do. Make sure you're showing up for you, right? And even if it's for you, sometimes you still may need to slow it down and gain some perspective, right? It goes back to creating that task list for yourself that is realistic, right? Can I do this in a day? And if I can't do all this in a day, it ain't going. I'm not writing it down. You know, being realistic. I feel like I'm on a whole rant. I don't know. I got a couple subscribers. Are y'all still with me? I don't know. I hope so. Maybe one. We'll see. But that's what I have. That's what I have, guys. And I thought that was just so incredibly powerful. I have so many other things, but I don't want to completely lose that one that I may have left. But insight is easy, but change is hard. How do we get to the change? How do we get from being destined and depleted to being able to reframe that thing to where we have the energy to be able to carry this thing on now, carry out what we feel we are called, we are destined to do, no matter the scale, no matter the size? How do we get to the parts where we have the insight to know that we are destined and depleted? We know we're tired out here in these streets. We know we exhausted. We over it. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole thing, you know, out here in these holy streets. We got it. We know it. How do we go from having that insight to moving towards the action, to moving towards the change and reframing that thing? Because I'm telling you guys, that whole more of me, I know I make a lot of jokes about it because it is funny and it is corny, but that's me. But I do truly believe in it is supposed to be more of us, right? This year. More of us speaking out, more of us sharing our testimony, more of us sharing our successes, right? More of us stepping up into the vision that we know or we feel or believe we need to be out here carrying out. You know what I'm saying? But we just too tired, we too drained, we too distracted, we just too everything out here in these whole holy streets. These whole holy streets. And I didn't cuss. It's whole. WHOLE. Whole holy streets. I might get creative. I might put like a little pop-up bubble with that on there. We'll see. I don't know. I ain't that good yet. Just good at talking sometimes. But I won't hold you guys. That's just what I have, you know. Insight is easy, but change is hard. How do we get to the action? How do we get to the change? How do we get to a part to where we're being consistent with slowing down instead of continuously, showing up for things that does not suit us? People pleasing, going back to those norms that is not going to be the norms to fill our cups back up. How do we get to that action? How do we get to that change? How do we get to that movement, right? As I said it before, guys, I'm Angela Hester. I am with Priceless Empowerment. I love this. I love what I do. I love being able to see clients get plugged back into their lives, to their purpose, and just being able to find that motivational factor on the inside that gets one moving again. I love that. I absolutely love that. I appreciate you guys for being here, even if it's the one that's left. at really tuning into this conversation on being destined and depleted. If you need anything from me, I will drop my information in the description below. If you are interested in a one-on-one session to get plugged back in, to tap back in, I am available to you. I will drop my website in the description below as well. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm so fired up about this conversation. I am so fired up about assisting individuals during their times of stress, during their times of turmoil, during their times of truly losing sight of who they are and how they are going to get back on track to carrying out what they feel they are destined to do, right? It's something that I'm so super excited about. You know, that's something that fills my cup at being out here in these streets. I'm sorry. Just kind of segue right into that. But I appreciate you guys and engaging in this conversation. It's huge. Like, it really is. It's so huge. Like, we have to take ourselves from being a detriment to ourselves to being able to navigate these waters and rebuild ourselves, to be consistent with ourselves, to be consistent with our destiny and carrying out the vision that we believe or feel, right, is over our lives. So I'm excited. I won't hold everyone too much longer, but I hope you guys got something out of this. If this was something that you resonated with, please hit that like button. If this content is your jam, please subscribe to this channel. It's more to come. And there's always something in this journal that I have for you guys. But this is a journey. It's a journey that I am on, that I am overcoming. And I'm loving this. I'm loving being able to focus on what's important, which is you guys, right? And this has been such a joy to me. So I appreciate everyone. Like, subscribe. If you know anyone who can benefit from these videos, this channel, share the videos with them. But I pray that everyone has an amazing rest of your week. If I don't see you guys before Love Day, for those who celebrate, happy Love Day. If you don't have a boo for your Love Day, you can be your own boo for Love Day and just love on yourself. But I thank you guys so very much. This outro, if that's a thing, is longer than expected. But you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.